I think the whole content, the agenda, the kind of people that we are meeting is very relevant and very close to the work we do. So I think that's very amazing, and I'm glad this is kind of being done.
Soul of today's event in just three words, what would they be?
Oh, I think it's very vibrant. It's very relevant, and I think the third thing is it's precise to the kind of challenges that we face in industries.
Hi, welcome to B2B Marketing Unboxed, brought to you by Mavens, powered by Bamboo Box and the Mainstream. I am Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and I am joined by Mr. Suryadeep Verma. He is the Chief Marketing Officer at Comviva. Firstly, Suryadeep, thank you once again for joining us and sharing the screen with me.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure is totally ours. That being said, let's lead with your experience with a great gathering of all the marketers, from different verticals, different brands. Can you tell us a bit about your experience today? What have been some of the biggest takeaways from this event?
See, the biggest thing is I think this is one of the biggest events where I've seen a confluence of B2B and technology marketing kind of coming together.
Right.
This is very core to, the whole theme that I have kind of worked on so far. So I think the whole content, the agenda, the kind of people that we are meeting is very relevant and very close to the work we do. So I think that's very amazing, and I'm glad this is kind of being done.
Thank you so much. And next, along these lines, because the core theme is, B2B marketing, which is experiencing its own shift. How do you see B2B marketing balancing storytelling and performance pressure today?
So I think I heard that comment in one of the session. Your storytelling is the root. It's the kind of core on which your flowers bloom. So storytelling would be the fundamental narrative that you build, and they feed into the whole process of outbound reach or any other outcomes that you are kind of chasing.
Correct.
So I think you need to kind of get that completely right and align to the company's values that you are really kind of trying to articulate. So I think that's fundamental, and that really complements. So it's not between a storytelling versus outbound. It's in terms of how do you really ensure that these two complement each other,
right?
And you have a very coherent kind of a narrative coming out from the company. I don't think your outbound is going to work if you really are not on point on your storytelling.
Absolutely. I think today when relevance is the key and clarity, relevance is where a lot of brands and businesses are looking at. I think that's what matters the most. But along these lines, Suryadeep, the B2B buyer journey has also kind of experienced its own evolution. Now it's become more digital, more self-directed. How have you seen the B2B landscape shift, and what does it mean for you as a marketer, as a strategy? How do you see this change? Because now we see it's community driven as well. So
so I think multiple things. I think one, in terms of with tech, with automation, what you're now able to do is drive a lot of personalization and drive that at scale. So, if you are able to connect with your audience one-on-one, so a lot of your narrative, which otherwise would be kind of directed at a segment, that segment is fast becoming very granular, right? So I think that's what kind of tech and AI and automation, everything is kind of bringing, which is like really giving you some kind of a tremendous capability to kind of work with.
Right.
The other part of it is, the whole community bit. I think that gives you a lot of credibility so credibility and some kind of a close set of core audience with whom you are able to socialize, test, and share some of your thought processes and get a very kind of a straight feedback back from them. So community, say for example, is something that in our context, we use them to build peer level understanding, also to kind of really hear back from them in terms of what's really relevant in their context, from a market, from a proposition, from an industry standpoint.
Absolutely. And thank you once again, Suryadeep, for sharing your insights. And lastly, if you were to capture the soul of today's event in just three words, what would they be?
Oh, I think it's very vibrant. It's very relevant. And I think the third thing is it's precise to the kind of challenges that we face in industry. So I think it's pretty much on the money.
Wonderful. Thank you once again for joining us today. And while we wrap up, I certainly look forward to connect with you again.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.